Hi friends, hope you are good and doing well. So today's topic is tuple and Python. The tuple and tuple both pronunciation are correct. You can call it as tuple or tuple. Okay. So a tuple is an immutable sequence of elements. Okay. Whereas a list is a mutable sequence of elements. Okay. So you need to remember, tuple is an immutable sequence of elements. Once you created a tuple, you cannot modify. Okay, if you created once a tuple, you cannot change, you cannot remove, you cannot modify. Whereas in list, you can change, we can modify, because list is a mutable sequence of elements. Okay, tuple are created using parentheses, and elements in the tuple is separated by a comma. So we can use here for the tuple parentheses. Okay, round braces. In the list we have used square braces. Okay, so here we can use it braces, round braces, or we cannot use. Okay, if you're using the tuple, so you see here I created a variable here, tuple is equals to inside the parentheses 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7.0. Okay, if you remove this braces, still it is tuple only. Okay, still it will be a tuple only. So we can use a parenthesis, or without parenthesis also you can create a tuple. Okay, you need to remember this, right? So, or we can say it's a collection of ordered items in which we can store string, float, and integer boolean. Okay, so same as in list, we can same as list, same as in sets, and here also we can store this data types in the tuple. So uh, in sets, if you see in the set, so we'll talk about the set also in the next video. So there are some differences between these sets and list, and sets and tuple and list. So here the duplicate items are allowed in the tuple. Okay, and list also duplicate items are allowed, but in sets duplicate items are not allowed. Okay, and one more important thing in the sets, okay, the collection of unordered items. Once you created a set, after you are printing the set, so it won't gives you in ordered manner. Okay, so in the next video with the examples, with the help of the examples, I will explain the sets. So we'll come to know, okay, how we are printing the set in the form of unordered manner, right? So duplicate items are allowed in the tuple, and tuple is immutable, whereas the list is mutable in nature, right? So here in the tuple, if you can use the parenthesis or you cannot use the parenthesis, your wish. But in the list, in case of list, if you are removing the square braces, so it no more about the list, it will convert into tuple. Okay, so you need to careful. If you're creating a list, you must uh, create a your list which is encompassed between the square braces, right? And tuple can also be created without parentheses by separating the element with commas. We already talked about this. Now, to access the element of tuple, you can use indexing. Okay, so see here, as I told you, the tuple not supporting the addition or any modification after created the tuple. Okay, but by using the indexing, you can access. Okay, for example, if you created a tuple, okay, so at at the which place your particular item is there, so if you want to print that particular item, so you can go for the indexing. Okay, and tuple object requires less memory than list for the same data. Tuple is fast in execution than list. See here, if you created tuple and list for the same data, okay, when you will check the how much memory consumption by the tuple and list, so tuple is much efficient than list, because tuple required less memory consumption than list. So if consuming less memory tuple, obviously the tuple is fast. Okay, fast in execution than list. Now I'll explain this tuple with some examples. So I'll create a tuple. See, I created a tuple with the variable variable name is tuple. Okay, so you can use any name of the variable name. Okay, you can use tuple, you can use a, you can use tuple or tup, or you can use tuple one also you can use. Okay, so how to create a variable, how to make it the variable name. Okay, there are some limitations. If you don't know, please you watch my first or second video, the variable how to create a variable in Python, so you can come to know very easily. Okay, so it's very most important how to create a variable. Okay, you can't start with first number. Okay, but you can give number after the alphabets. Okay, so some limitations are there, so you go through that one. So I'll create a variable, tuple variable. I have given the name tuple. You can use any name of the variable tuple, or you can use tup, or you can use t also. Okay, so I'm using here one. I'm giving the elements 1 2 3 4 5.0. I will take a float number. Then I'll use here one complex number also, boolean, and one integer. Awesome. So we will print tuple. It will print for you. Okay, the entire tuple. Okay, entire elements which is inside the variable tuple. Okay, 1 2 3 in the ordered manner. See here I have given the in the variable tuple 1 2 3 4 5, like that. In the same manner it will print here also, in the list also the same manner. Okay, but in case of the sets, it won't print as in ordered manner. Maybe the first at zero index the number is first here printed now. Maybe at the zeroth index it will print true. Okay, so that will the insets it will print for you in the manner of in the unordered manner, not in ordered. Okay, we'll talk it about in next video in sets. Okay. So ordered manner. Okay, if you can say tuple is an immutable sequence of elements. Okay, now for example, if you don't want to give the traces these on traces straight, it will be a tuple. Straight, it will be a tuple. Okay, still it will execute. Okay? You can check it here. Type, they're both easy है यार, check कर लेना है आप. ठीक है, type tuple, so it will show you it's a tuple. As I told you, you can use the this run parenthesis, run braces, or if you are not using, no problem, still it's a tuple. Okay, so for example, if you want to change at first index by using the indexing at first index, if you want to change the element. Okay, so I told you now we cannot modify. Okay, I'll try. If I want to change at first index 0 1, at first index the number is 2. Okay, so instead of 2, if I want to change 100. Okay, so see here, it gives you tuple object that does not support item assignment. So I told you now, so it won't support any modification in the tuple. But we can access. For example, if you want to access, print tuple fifth. Okay, so at fifth index, what's the element is the tuple. If you want to print that particular element, so you can use the indexing. Okay, you can use the indexing only for access, for not any changes. Okay, so here 0. Okay, at 0 index the value will be, the element is, or the item is 1. At first index the element is 2. So 0 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, at fifth index the element is a complex number 3 plus 4j. Okay, so here you can change from 6 to 7, so it will change to Hasan. Okay, so you can go for uh, how to access the indexing. Okay, and append also it's not supporting, because append means that's you are adding something, so append also it won't support here, so we'll try it here. Okay, tuple dot append. For example, if I want to add some number or some in string values, for example John को हमें ऐड करना है यहाँ पे, तो मैंने यूज किया है append function, but it's won't support. We cannot add, we cannot change, we cannot add, or we cannot remove also. We cannot remove also. See here, a tuple object has no attribute append. Okay. For example, if I using here remove function, remove. If I want to remove 2 from the tuple, so it won't support. See again, the tuple object has no attribute to remove. Okay. So see here, so you need to remember the important, very most important, the differences between the tuple and list. Okay, in the tuple, it's a mutable in nature, whereas in the list, mutable in nature, but tuple is immutable in nature. Okay, so and one more important, see the common important differences, the common differences you know very well. अरे यार list जो है ना वो mutable in nature है, tuple है immutable in nature है, we can change in the list, we can add, we can remove the item in the list, but whereas in tuple we cannot change, we cannot remove in the tuple. Okay, so the common examples, the common differences you know, but the important difference you should remember this: the tuple object require less memory than list. For the same data you can practice also. Okay, so you can practice, you can see if you want to check the memory, तो थोड़ा टाइम लग जाएगा इसमें बताने के लिए. चलिए मैं बता दूंगा आपको. इसका एक कोई फंक्शन है, import sys फंक्शन यूज करना पड़ेगा आपको. Import sys function you need to use if you want to check the memory consumption. So I'll use L list. So I'll create one list. List means here you need to use square braces. So here I'll keep it here one string hi, then 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6.8. Okay, so I have created a list. Now I'll create one tuple also. Hi, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.8. The same data, Here we are checking the memory consumption with the same data. See here, if I want to check the memory consumption, so the function will be print function. Then I'll use here sys function, sys dot get size of, first I'll check list size. Okay, so it consumes 104. Okay, so memory consumption is 104 here. Okay, so whereas, and I'll copy and paste here. So L के जगह पे हम लिखेंगे यहाँ पे tuple T. So यहाँ पे देखिए 80 है. So you got it my point. So the point of view, memory consumption, it's an important difference. So tuple object require less memory, memory consumption than less for the same data. Okay, so the important differences also I explained. The difference between the tuple and this list also. So in the next video we'll talk about the sets and some differences also. We'll compare the sets with the tuple and list also in the next video. Okay, so if you like this video, please subscribe my YouTube channel, and you can share this video with your friends. Thank you very much.